Welcome back to my channel. I got a treat for you. Today we're going to talk about a new prop firm that just came out, and it's called FundingTicks. FundingTicks is a pretty large company. They've been around for years, I believe, and they specialize in the Forex and futures trading market, and now they're dabbling their fingers into the prop firm market. So if you don't know anything about prop firms, the way prop firms work is you usually start out with a evaluation phase, and then once you pass the evaluation, then you move on to a funded phase. And then if you make money and you're profitable, you get rewarded real money, guys. And you're basically kind of working for them, and that's the way it works. So if you're interested, guys, keep watching this video because I'm going to show you all the details and the ins and outs of FundingTicks. I just opened up an account so that way I can really get my hands dirty and find out the nitty gritties to see if this is the right fit for me. So far, so good, guys. This has been a great experience. So far, I'm hitting the ground running. I'm almost to the funded phase, so we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it, guys, because I want to know the details just as much as you. Okay, guys, so here we are talking about fundingticks.com. And as you can see here, they got a Pro Plus account or a zero account. So the Pro Plus account is basically where you do the evaluation first for 3 days. And if you pass the evaluation, then you're given a funded account or a mastery account. And then you can get rewarded for being profitable, guys. So that's the way it works. And so let's check out their website a little bit. You can do copy trades up to 300K in allocation. So if you're doing multiple 50K accounts, so you could basically do about 6 50K accounts. And you can do copy trading with TradingView, which is great. So the platform, you can do TradingView, Ninja Trader, or TradingView. So if you like any of those platforms, you can use any 3 of those. I like TradingView with prop firms because you can do copy trading really easy. And I'm not too familiar with Ninja Trader, guys, so I can't really judge Ninja Trader at all. I tried downloading it. I didn't really like the looks of it, so I just stuck with TradingView because it was easy. And then TradingView, of course, has great software, great programs you can use if you love to use trend lines or any sort of indicators that are more particular to you. So that is definitely a good tool to use. And then they do have multiple tailored plans for different traders. So if you, they have straight to funded, guys, which is pretty crazy. But it does cost a lot more. So, and so it's definitely not for everybody. Fast rewards get paid as little as 5 days. That is pretty fast. So here's the Pro Plus and Zero plans. The Pro Plus, of course, is the evaluation, and then you go on to the mastery stage where the Zero is just straight to the master, right? So that you're straight to funded. But of course, the price, you're going to pay the price, $333. Now, if you use my code link down below, you get 30% off that, guys. So that'd be like $100 off, which is pretty good. But still, I would recommend, saving a few bucks, and plus you want to kind of challenge yourself a little bit, guys. So I would recommend the Pro Plus account, but and it is a lot cheaper. So you're looking at, for 25K, looking at $100 a month. And then you get, but I think the most popular plan is going to be the 50K plan, 125 a month. But remember, guys, you get 30% off with that link down below. So it brings that in about $87.50 or something like that a month. So, and then you only pay while you're in the evaluation phase. So if you pass your evaluation and go on to the mastery, this subscription fee goes away, which is awesome. So it's funded with no fees, right, guys? So that is great. So that's a very big plus for this account. And then the 100K, you're looking at $200 a month. So 30% off, you're looking about 60 bucks off, so about maybe 140. And then yeah, so let's check out the zero plans. So zero, again, you're looking at 333. 50K is 500, and then looking at 600 for the 100K. So let me get some coffee, guys, because my throat is raw. Sorry, guys, I've been dealing with a cold, and it's not been fun. As you can see here with the 50K account, let's just stick with the 50K just to be easy. You're looking at a profit target of $2,500. End of day trailing loss is $2,000. So it basically takes your ending day highest balance and then subtracts $2,000 off of that, and that is your trailing loss drawdown, right, guys? So if you just don't want to get below that mark, right? So let's say you made $1,000 your first day, your next trailing loss would be 49,000. So you just wouldn't want to get below 49,000 the following day. And then the beauty of it is that if you do make more, your trailing loss does not follow you throughout that day, right? It only resets at the end of the day. So that is a very big plus for these accounts because I've noticed in my account, once I made $1,000, now I have a $3,000 drawdown instead of a $2,000 drawdown. Where I know, like with Apex, the trailing drawdown follows you throughout the day, and which can be very annoying because let's say you're up 1,000 and the next minute you're down 1,000. Well, that's $2,000. Your account will be blown, after that. But this one at least gives you that end of day trailing drawdown, and so it can be very helpful if you have a bad trade. So now with this one here, you have to trade a minimum of 3 days, and has a 40% consistency rule. And the beauty about these accounts here with FundingTicks is there's no consistency rule in the mastery program, which is beautiful because I don't know about you guys, but I blew up a few Apex accounts because of their consistency rule, because I made too much money, and then my profit target kept going up because I made too much money, and then it kept getting harder and harder to meet those profit goals, and it ended up hurting me, And so with this one here, once you get the mastery level, your consistency rule goes away, so that way you can make as much money in one day as you want, and then all you have to do is trade for another 4 days after that profitably, and then you're golden, guys. Then you can start taking rewards or withdrawals, whatever you want to call it. And then here, activation fees are 0, which is awesome. So now they do take out 90% split every single time. So where Apex, they give you the first $25,000, straight up, you know what I mean? So they don't take and then after the 25,000, they take 90%. But this one, I think your odds of getting paid out are a little higher, guys. I think this FundingTicks is in it to win it. I mean, I think they are definitely being very competitive in the prop firm market. It's definitely something to check out, guys. I am gonna go headfirst in these accounts here and show you all the details I can and see what you guys think. Make sure if you are interested to help support the channel, want to see more videos like this, make sure to use that affiliate link down below. That way I can get a little reimbursement there for making these videos for you guys, because right now I'm still working on my 1,000 subscribers. So right now I'm getting a big fat goose egg from these videos. So I'm just doing this out of kindness of my heart right now. So make sure you support your channel, guys, and or you can buy merchandise too. If you like these hats, you can buy some hats and other merch too. So check it all out, guys. So enough about me. Let's get into FundingTicks. So let's get into the details. So this here is, all you need to know about taking the challenge, right? So we'll check it out here. So here you got the pro account and the FundingTicks zero account. So the zero account is where you get immediately funded. Usually it's a lot more expensive, guys. So the zero account, I think it starts out like $500, where the pro account starts out like $87. So it's a lot cheaper to start out with the pro account and do the evaluation phase first. So let's check out that one, just because that's one I would recommend. But of course, do your own due diligence, guys. Um, and so here we go. Let's check out how hard it is to do the evaluation. Let's just look, just to make it simple, let's just keep up with this $50,000 account, because that's probably the most popular account. So here we go. It is a profit target of $2,500, which I believe Apex, if I'm just comparing apples and oranges here, guys, if I compare with Apex $50,000 account is a $3,000 goal. So it's actually $500 cheaper or less. And then, but the big difference between this and the Apex is, with Apex, there's no consistency rule in the evaluation phase, where this one has the consistency rule right off the bat, right? So you have a 40% consistency rule. And then where Apex, you have the consistency rule during the funded phase. So to make it simple terminology, guys, this account is harder in the beginning and easier in the funded phase, where Apex is easier in the evaluation phase and then harder in the funded phase. So if you want it, if you want to get the hard out of the way first, this might be the account for you. And so the way the consistency rule works, this one's 40%. So if you look down here, this kind of gives you an example. So let's say the first day is you made $1,200. And the second day you made $1,100. And the third day you made $700. So with a $3,000 total profit. So as long as your highest day, so the $1,200 was your highest day, right? So as long as that wasn't 40% or more than the total amount that you had in profit, then you're good to go, right? Now, personally, I would try not to have it any harder than you want it to be, right? So right now, the goal is only $2,500, not $3,000. So if you keep your profit target $1,000 or less, that would keep you below that 40%, right? So I would recommend not making over $1,000, guys, per day. So once you hit $1,000, just be done, be happy, right? And then, so one day you hit 1,000, next day you might hit 900. Then you only have to make $600 the last day, and then you're done, right? And you do have to trade for a minimum of 3 days. So there is that. So now with this account, there is a trailing drawdown of $2,000. So, and it's $2,000 from the previous day close, right? So if you, let's say you made $1,000 your first day, then you're at $51,000. Well, now your trailing drawdown the following day would be $49,000. So once you hit $49,000, your account's done, right? So you want to make sure that, which is a little different than other prop firms, because other prop firms has a trailing drawdown of your highest balance ever, And so let's say you're up $1,000, and then you go down $1,000, then you're done, right? And so it's where this one, it's from your previous day. So this can actually be a little better as far as that goes, because sometimes the trailing drawdown from your highest balance can bite you in the rear, because I've been I've been in a trade where I was up 1,000, and then uh, and then before you know it, you're breaking even. Then you're down 1,000. Well, then you're done because you just hit that $2,000 trailing drawdown from your highest balance ever, right? And it doesn't matter if you sell or not. And so, where this one, at least you have that extra 1,000 leeway from your previous day balance, right? And so, and that could definitely be the difference between blowing up an account or uh, being to survive one more day, guys. So this could be a game changer for most people, I would say. Um, so once you pass the evaluation phase, let's check out. So we got. So here's the trading rules, right? So you got trading rules. Okay, so you got so here. This is your trailing drawdown of $2,000, and it says EOD, which is like end of day uh, trading balance, right? And I believe it is still based off your highest, uh, you know, profit of the previous day. So it doesn't necessarily mean, um, you know, I believe, don't quote me on this, guys, but I believe they still kind of take the highest balance from the previous day. So I know they say end of day, but it is kind of confusing there. So I have yet to experience that, so I don't know how that exactly works, but hopefully that's not a problem. Um, Contracts. So this is another big difference. So the contract size, right? So in a $50,000 account, you can only do 4 contracts, right? So uh, 4 minis or 40 micros. Uh, that could be a good thing because I know Apex, they allow you to train 10 contracts or 100 micros. So and that can get really crazy really fast because I've had it where, I started dollar cost averaging or something, and then the market turns around, and then boom, I blew my account because with 10 contracts, it doesn't take much to blow your account when your trailing drawdown is only 2,500 or 2,000 or whatever. So having less contracts isn't a terrible thing, guys, because it can actually save you because, especially if you are one of those traders that dollar cost average a lot, and you end up biting yourself in the rear. So uh, so minimizing your contracts can actually be a good thing. So that way, if you're in a bad trade and you see it's in a bad trade, you can just sell it, guys, and move on to the next trade because this way it kind of limits what you can buy. So now this one I thought was kind of interesting. So news trading. So during the evaluation phase, there's no restrictions on holding trades during the news events. So you can just trade the news all you want, but once you're in the mastery account, it actually recommends that I would go to this site here. It's actually called Forex Factory with their calendar. And so basically, any red folder. So if you see any red folders here, you can't trade 5 minutes before and up to 5 minutes after a news event, right? So if this news event here, uh, let's say is so right now for Friday, June 20th, there are no red folders, right? So you can trade all day, no problem. But if you have a red folder, you can then um, yeah, if you have a red folder on this time here, so 11 o'clock, you just don't want to trade 5 minutes before 11 o'clock or after that news event's over because otherwise, all your profits that you made that during that time will not count, guys, and they'll delete it from your account. So try not to do that. Uh, so I would definitely recommend once you're funded, download this page here and keep it open so that way you know not to invest during those times. Personally, me, I try to only trade I try to only trade, guys, in the afternoon. So once the market kind of opens, I trade between usually about 3:30 in the afternoon till about 5 o'clock uh, uh, Pacific time. So whatever that is, I think it's like the Asian market or like when Australia opens up or something like that. I don't know what it is, but that's my favorite time to trade because the market's not too crazy, and I tend to guess a little more correctly, right? Or trade a little more correctly, because sometimes when I trade later, the market is so choppy that I just get chopped up, guys, and I end up losing. So I definitely like to trade between like 3:30 and 5 o'clock Pacific time, and that seems to work for me, guys. But you do your own thing. So let's check out the FundingTicks app, right? So this is the FundingTicks website when you log in. As you can see here, I got one challenge open, and I'm in the evaluation phase. So it says here I'm a student of the Pro Plus account. I've traded 2 days. I've made about 16 trades, and yeah, so I made $2,000, guys, in 2 days. So I made about my goal was trying to make $1,000 a day, guys. So far I'm on track. So the last day, I only need to make $500 for my third day, and then I'm done. And then I move on to the mastery level, which is the funded account, right? So here we're gonna go to the dashboard. So as you can see here, this here is the uh, platform here. It says, you can use TradingView, and it does let you log in to TradingView. And then, so here it says I have 1 day left. I've, let's see, profit target. So all I need to do is $532 more, and I'm done. So it's still showing my consistency score is 100% because I don't think it's updated. I've noticed this website's a little slow at updating this page here. And so after you do a trade and you made, let's say, $1,000, it takes a while for this site to update. I've noticed it takes like an hour, and then one thing will update at a time. And I'm assuming it's because the website's kind of new, guys. I think they're still working out some bugs, but yeah, for the most part, it's fairly accurate. And so as you can see here, my end of day trailing loss is $3,000 now because it starts out at $2,000. So I started the day out with my ending day balance at 50,910 because I made 910 the previous day. And then so my trailing threshold is 48,910. So I believe if I wanted to keep trading, I could lose up to $3,000 before my account's blown. So, and then here it has a little countdown of 1 hour and 50 minutes before this is reset and the day ends. Because right now it's about 1:10 p.m. Pacific time. So it looks like this number resets at 3 p.m. when the market opens the following day. And right now today's Friday, so basically once the weekend hits, it's done. And so this is kind of interesting, guys. Um, let's see here. I did notice that it wasn't counting my days left the other day because I actually opened this account on, I believe it was like the 17th or 18th of June, and it wasn't really counting the day for the 19th because of Juneteenth. There was a holiday there, and so it wasn't a full trading day, and so I believe it didn't count the partial trading day as a full day, right? So which happens, and so just remember, only full trading days count as trading days, and so if there's a holiday in there, guys, just be aware of that. Um, So anything else here? It does have a cool little, shows your average win, average loss. Uh, it shows like, okay, on the 17th, I made 910. And then I didn't trade it all on the 19th because it wasn't really showing um, that the days traded counted. So I didn't want to trade any more than $900 because I didn't want to go over that $1,000 consistency rule, right? Because I didn't want to hit over 40%. So I just wanted to be safe until this dashboard actually showed that I had 2 days left. That's when I started trading more. Um, and then here's some more, stats and whatnot. Here you can look at your trading days. Has a little calendar. It's kind of cool. So you can click on this, and it'll show you, how much you made that day. Showed that I didn't trade on Juneteenth, and then I started trading on this. So right now it says I made a zero profit for the 20th, but that should update at the end of the day. I believe I made over $1,000, guys. So I almost went against my rule. I did. I made 1,000, I believe, $57. So that should update in about an hour or two. And let's see here. And then what's also kind of confusing on, so according to their website, it showed that there was a 40% consistency rule. Where's that at? Okay, so if we go back to the evaluation phase, so according to this, it says, as a 40% consistency rule, right? So, but on their app, here, it says 43%. So that's kind of confusing. So I don't know if they're going by the app or if they're going by what their rules say. I would go by what the rules say. I wouldn't trust this app just because, who knows? I don't know if they're just giving you that little leeway there without telling you. So, but I would be safe and just keep it under 40%. And then, so there's that. Here you can look at your trading history if you want to look at that. And that's it. So that's basically what the dashboard looks like. And then if you're curious about how to log in to TradingView, I was kind of having difficulty logging in at first, and I was trying to figure out how. But if you click on credentials, this will give you all of your login information. So that's your username and then your password for TradingView. As far as I can tell, it's not letting me change my username or password. So apparently that must be fixed, which is kind of annoying because I have to manually enter that in every time when I log into TradingView. So it'd be nice if I could, change that password to something easier or something that I know personally, so that way I wouldn't have to look it up every time. But that is what it is. At least it's secure and safe. And of course, I got probably blurred out or something for this video, so you guys can't log into my account and screw me up. But that's just the way it works. So that's how that is. I am assuming if you blow your account, I'm assuming that's what that is for. So you can pay to reset it. Let's check it out here, guys. See if we can find anything else on this. So here's the rewards. So this is when you get into the funded phase. So once you pass your get the 2,500 and pass the eval, then your minimum reward is 1% of the initial balance, right? Now, the beauty about the reward system is there's no consistency rule, right? So you can make all your money the first day and then just kind of milk it after that if you wanted, because down here you got you have to do 5 days of trading, right? So there is that, right? So you have to do 5 days, but look at this. You only have to show that you made $150 for 5 days. So technically, if you lost money one day, you had to trade for one more day, maybe 6 days, in order to make that $150 profit. But let's say if you made $5,000 in one day, and then you just want to sit on those profits, you could literally just trade, and as long as you made $150 for the next 4 days, you're golden, guys, and you can get paid out. So let's see how that works. So now this was a little confusing, but it's really not that confusing, guys. So the minimum reward is 1% of your initial balance, right? So in a 50K account, you get a $500 reward minimum. So, but now it doesn't say like what your profit goal is, right? So the way it works is you have to first reach that threshold. So it has the same trillion threshold of $2,000. So once you're at that break-even point of the $2,000 threshold, so you have to go from $50,000 to $52,000, right? And that'll be your break-even point. Any point after that is your money, guys. So, but according to this, you have to have, in order to take a withdrawal, you have to have a minimum of a $500 reward, right? So if you think about it, in order to get paid, you just have to hit $2,500, right? So again, so it's just like the evaluation phase. You just have to make $2,500, and then so 2,000 of that is just breaking even on your trillion threshold. Then you make that $500 extra, and that's your money. And then you can start withdrawing as long as you made $150 for 5 days, right? So now it does say that now as far as a maximum withdrawal, it says that the maximum withdrawal is up to 60% of the profits may be requested as a reward, with a maximum of $5,000 per account, right? So every 5 days or week or whatever you want to call it, you can request a $5,000 payout. But it has to be, I believe, 60% of your total profits, right? So let's say if you made a $5,000 profit, you could ask, so 60% of 5,000 is 3,000. So you can then, so if you're sitting on a $5,000 profit, you can request a $3,000 payout. You'll be left with $2,000 in your account, and that's basically your trillion threshold, right, guys? So you'll be left with $52,000. Now, the way this FundingTicks works is that they take out 10% of your profits. So you're left with 90%. So they're going to take $300 of that 3,000, right? That's 10%. So if you ask for a $3,000 withdrawal, they're going to deposit or send you a check for $2,700, guys. Sounds pretty great to me, guys. I don't think this company is going to have any issues paying out. Like I said, they're a big company. They probably have a lot of money in the bank, probably more money than me. So I'm not too worried about it. So that's it, guys. Hopefully this answers all your questions. And that's it, guys. So what do you think about FundingTicks? Hopefully, if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below. I'd love to answer any questions or make another video on it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share out this video if you think somebody else could utilize this information. And just remember, day trading is not for everybody. There is a lot of risk involved, and you can lose everything, guys. So be careful. I apologize about my voice. I've been dealing with a cold for the last couple of weeks. So, but hopefully this microphone makes it sound a little better. And so make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. Peace out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.